Cruise Control streams live every Saturday starting at 10 a.m. Eastern. Watch us live on Facebook and YouTube. Details are in this podcast's episode information.
This is Cruise Control. Your on-air automotive magazine with co-hosts Fred Staab and Les Jackson. Everything you need to know about new and used cars. Industry news. We'll fix or repair your car on the air. Fasten your seatbelts and let us take the wheel. Now, your ride is about to begin. Because you're on Cruise Control. Cruise Control. Cruise Control.
And welcome to Cruise Control, your on-air automotive magazine. Hello, everyone. It's Fred Staab and Les Jackson. We are glad you're along for the ride. We got a great hour coming up, don't we, Les?
We do. As usual, lots of things going on in the industry. They don't take summer vacation in the automotive manufacturing world, and lots of things happening, lots of announcements.
Yeah.
We'll get to a bunch.
Yeah, we will. And the first one is Under Pressure. What put an end to a dealer's almost 100% markup on a new Z06 Corvette? They were doing this with a number of them, and they've been stopped in their tracks.
Well, I hope it involves, hitting them with a hammer, but probably not. Anyway, Honda, of all things, cuts its output by 40%. Now, this is interesting.
Yep, and it will affect the Honda Civic, and we'll tell you why.
It will.
And it's been a while, but we had to get back to it. As the Tesla turns, Elon Musk says, rip off those side view mirrors. Plus, Yoke steering wheels are falling apart. And so-called full self-driving option gets a price increase. Also, the government warns, do not use your children to test the pedestrian safety system in Teslas. Apparently, this has been happening on the web.
Yes, it has been happening. Have you seen the PSAs on TV?
I have not, but
we've seen them here, obviously, because they want Congress to see them. It's, look, don't trust this thing. Anyway, we'll talk about that. And you're probably wondering how a new Nissan Z got destroyed before it ever left the dealer's lot.
Yeah, this is not good.
Yeah.
Probably, I would say to that dealership, they should pick their employees very carefully and then monitor them.
Oh yeah, I've got a driver's license.
Yeah, sure, I can handle that car. And
sure,
there are Z markups as well. We'll tell you about that, high markups, and then also there's some talk that people need more than 400 horsepower in that Nissan Z, and they might just get it. So
they might.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. And then you have a talking tech segment, don't you?
Absolutely. We're going to this time talk about how to charge your electric vehicle in 10 minutes.
Or less.
All it takes is a big wire and a thunderstorm.
Yes, it's called the Ben Franklin way of charging.
And a little bit of nerve, but...
Plus, I'm going to have an at the wheel of the all-electric Kia EV6 GT Line. So stay tuned to Cruise Control, your on-air automotive magazine. Cruise Control is your on-air automotive magazine. Check us out at cruisecontrolradio.com.
Cruise Control.
Welcome back to Cruise Control. This is, your on-air automotive magazine, and Fred and I just can't wait to meet this dealer.
I want to buy a lot of cars from him, a lot of cars.
Fortunately, I don't go to Texas, so there's a Mack Hulk Chevrolet in Houston is one of those dealers that's adding marketing. It's like buying lobster, market price.
Market price, determined by them.
Yeah, and they decided for the Corvette Z06 that they would add $90,000, $90,000 over MSRP if you want one.
Now, MSRP for this this vehicle, Les, is about 106.
Yeah, it's about 106 to 110.
Almost a 100% markup, right?
So I think that's obnoxious. I think that's a good word for doing that. And apparently a lot of people saw, actually, somebody put a contract online for people to see with the wording and the signature and all that. And the internet, local internet exploded.
Yeah.
And the worst thing that anybody doing something nefarious or stupid can possibly get is to become famous
or infamous.
Or infamous. And in this case, that's what happened. And Chevrolet got wind of it and contacted Mac. You could imagine that when Chevrolet contacts you, you're probably in trouble.
Yeah, it's like, hey, what's going on down there? You know.
Yeah, and if you would like any more Corvettes,
right,
you may want to change your plan here.
Yeah, and so what happened was they had written a bunch of these. Of course, the car has not been released yet officially, and people had orders in, and they, because of this internet pressure, they basically called up everyone that did the order and said, we'll sell it to you for MSRP.
Yep.
Hey, it's your lucky day. You're saving almost $100,000. Can you imagine that? And okay, so dealers say, well, these other people are going to sell it and make the money. Why shouldn't we make it, right? First of all, people just don't like car dealers making money.
Well, they're at MSRP. They're making plenty of money. Yeah,
but they want to make the hands are a little bit bigger going into the pie than whatever they make on it. Now Chevrolet has kind of dealt with this from both sides, from both the sellers, the dealers, and the buyers. In January, they sent out a warning to its dealer network stating that markups were not acceptable. The dealers probably laughed that off, but following that, they introduced a reward system for Z06 buyers to keep them from flipping the car if they kept it for 12 months. If they did, Chevy would reward them with My Chevrolet Awards members with 500,000 points, which works out to $5,000. The money could be spent on accessories and parts and servicing at any My GM Rewards participating dealership. And in early August, they took the drastic step of warning owners that they could void the warranty if the car was sold within 12 months. On the dealer side, they took the approach of allocation. The more high-end C8 Stingrays a dealer sold, the more Z06 they would receive. And it just can't stop these dealers from doing it. I mean, I think I told you we were talking a little bit before the show, and there was a study done. If they just said, you know what, we're going to sell every car at MSRP, the dealers, and we're not gonna do any discounts other than factory incentives, if we'll ever see factory incentives again. And if they did that and didn't do these markups, they would have made just as much money.
And now, if the industry decided to just sell everything at MSRP, they're going to have to somewhat lower the MSRP.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I don't think there are a lot. The cars are still not going unsold. So
that's true.
I just couldn't do that. I couldn't pay $100,000 over the price on the sticker. But
no,
I don't think anyone else should. I think eventually it would clear up, And when the vehicles are a little bit more available, you'll be able to get them for MSRP. But hey, when we come back, we're going to tell you about Honda. They have some of their supply chain problems, and they're cutting output by 40%. What does it all mean? We'll be right back. We are live every Saturday at 10 a.m. Eastern. Watch us on Facebook and YouTube. Details are in this podcast's episode information.
Cruise Control.
And welcome back to Cruise Control, your on-air automotive magazine. Interesting reveal this week at Corvettes at Carlisle. Comes from the folks over at Callaway. We were just telling you about the fact that the Z06 is going for big money, 670 horsepower. And what if you say, well, I want that kind of power, but I don't have that kind of money, or I don't want to pay $100,000 over sticker? Well, the folks over at Callaway may have something for you. They showed off a triple-cooled supercharger system for Corvette C8s. We don't really know a lot about this, about power output. I have heard things from 630, 650. That's up from the 495 of the regular V8. And this could be something for people that don't want to go for the Z06 but want something a little extra. Having driven the C8, Les, really, it's got plenty of power at 495.
Yeah, it doesn't really need any power, but people always want more. And you figure Lingenfelter's probably doing the same
He sure
thing.
is. Yeah, Lingenfelter's doing the same thing.
Yep.
Would you modify your new C8 or just leave it the way it is?
I'd leave it alone because it's more than enough to get me a ticket.
A big ticket, or perhaps
Big ticket.
a visit to a hotel with bars on it.
Yeah, the Gray Bar Hotel is not as comfortable as it sounds.
But this is an option. I'll tell you, I've thought about having a C6, with a centrifugal supercharger that's hidden away, and it doesn't look any different. Doesn't really sound different till you hit the throttle, but you've got a lot of horsepower. In that case, I think they had 430. So you can.
It was 430.
You can go up to 600.
Yeah.
And the car will hold together to about 800 before parts and pieces start flying. But nice system from Callaway. I'd love to hear more about it once they're doing some more testing. And the cool thing would be not to tell anyone you got this under your hood.
And what do you think it costs? Probably 15 to 20?
I don't know. It depends, installed. Like the centrifugal systems cost, I think, between $5,000 and $7,000. And this is more of a root style. So I don't know what this would cost. I would say about 10. Installed, probably.
Yeah, so that's a pretty cheap Z06.
It's a really cheap Z06, and it's one of the best things you can do for the street, a sleeper. They don't need to know any different, So there you have it. All right, well, we like talking about that, but Honda's got another problem. It's not power output, it's output of vehicles.
It's output.
Yeah, yeah. They're cutting their output by 40% in Japan due to supply disruptions, including production of the Honda Civic.
Boy, that's got to hurt. But on the other hand, if they chose just to do it in Japan, is the Japan market a little more flexible?
That I don't know. I can't say.
Obviously,
I can't say.
Yeah, they don't want to alter. They don't want to. Well, of course, the Civic is made here.
Yeah, made in Ohio for a long time, right?
So all they have to supply here are possibly engines.
Yeah.
We pretty much make all the stuff here, don't we?
They're still saying it's logistics due to COVID-19 and semiconductor shortages. When will this be over?
Well, the long range effects, I think, of, another 5 or 6 years for everything, not just cars.
They have to. I mean, they are building new factories, and obviously, we know where most of the chips are built, and that is a kind of a situation we don't know which way it's going to go. How's that?
Yeah, but it's other stuff. It's other components that are built all over the world. You got stuff in Ukraine built, wiring harnesses and
that's
castings.
Right. Yeah, we did that. I think it was Volkswagen that said they build their wiring harnesses in the Ukraine, and guess what? You're not going to be getting those. So yeah, it's interesting, and we'll see how long it goes on for.
Yeah.
No word on if this is going to affect U.S., but we will see.
It shouldn't, but you don't know. But I guess again, all of these problems just get expanded all around the world.
Yeah. All right. Well, is it time? Is it time for As the Tesla Turns?
Let me find the organ.
Bum, bum, bum. We
We
haven't done it As the Tesla Turns in a long time.
We have not. Elon has been relatively quiet, but
he made up for it this week.
He's, yes, he decided he lost that sign on his door that says "Keep mouth closed."
Well, he's still talking about the Cybertruck, and he mentioned it has. Someone's likened it in one of the comments that I read in this article from CarBuzz. It looks like somebody built a body and put it on top of a Silverado chassis. The wheels and sort of the mirrors that he's showing the Cybertruck with, they almost look like someone took them off a Jeep Wrangler and kind of screwed them on there, And he says, once you get that Cybertruck, you should just rip those mirrors off. You don't need them. And the Fed said, actually, you do. While you can modify the car, you need side rear view mirrors in many states to register the vehicle.
That's correct. It is interesting that you can modify your car. Your dealer cannot modify your car.
No.
But you can as the owner. However, you have to not violate any state laws.
Right. Inspection
or
laws.
Federal laws if you're driving interstate.
That's right. You can modify your vehicle.
You can take out the airbag.
You can take out the airbag and that, but you can't say, well, I'm going to take off the bumpers and the headlights and drive around. Right? You won't pass inspection. So what they're saying here is, while you can physically take them off, it's probably not a good idea, but it also the vehicle may not pass inspection. So there they go. Elon Musk. I would say let's make the vehicle. So
Well, first of all, Elon has no business advising people to ignore federal laws and then expect to not suffer the consequences if somebody does what he said they could do and then they get in trouble.
Yeah. I mean, he couldn't probably be found liable for that, it's still up to the person that took it off. And what?
That's true.
Yes, it would be great to have cameras to replace the side view mirrors because they look like big ears sticking out.
Sure, it's great.
But you can't drive without some kind of side view vision, and most
just
likely
because you don't look at your side view mirrors doesn't mean.
A lot of people don't look at them. Yeah.
Sadly, they don't.
Well, let's continue on here before the break. Remember, of course, the Yoke, that Yoke steering wheel on the Model S? It's found on the $135,990 Model S Plaid. You'll be glad to know the vegan leather they wrapped it in is falling off. Chunks of it are falling off. meaning that the part you touch the most in the car is disintegrating after about 4,000 miles. Quality control as
So
the
they
Tesla turns.
Obviously didn't do heat gain studies with the closed vehicle in the sun.
Nope. But we'll have more as the Tesla turns after this on Cruise Control, your on-air automotive magazine.
Cruise Control.
Welcome back to Cruise Control. We just can't stop talking about Tesla.
as it turns, baby.
Hey, listen, don't kill the messenger here. Speaking of killing, don't use the Tesla full self-driving, because it ain't. You know, and here in DC, there's a TV public service ad that's from engineers at car companies who designed these things, saying basically it's aimed at Congress, and it says Tesla owners have been
bamboozled,
actually using their children as test dummies to check these out.
In other words, that they put the kids in front of the car and they hope it stops.
They hope it stops. And okay, most of the time it does, but
wow, that gives me a weird, creepy feeling, and it feels like child abuse to me.
Well, I would call that child abuse. But the fact is, this PSA is saying stop letting them call this full self-driving. It isn't.
Now, it remains in beta testing, believe it or not.
Yep.
And it just went from $12,000 to $15,000. And basically, that's what you're paying. You're beta testing software for $15,000, right?
Yes. So don't. I mean, we're telling you, we've studied this, especially me. I've been studying this for years, and I've been going to all of the international meetings on self-driving, and the Tesla system is a level 3. You got to get to level 5 before it's truly self-driving. If you believe this thing is going to work as fully self-driving, you're putting yourself in danger. It's that simple.
Yeah.
And don't pay,
for a beta test. I thought beta software was free. You know, you signed up to be part of. You signed up to be part of the beta test, and it was free. And then you get the software at the end of the test as a thank you for investing your time. That's the beta tests I've been involved with for some other tests. It's like, great, okay, we're going to test this over a couple of months, and when we're done and we have the release candidate, you get it for free. These people should all get it for free, basically.
Well, they should.
But it's such a cult, Les.
It is a cult. And you just got to realize that Tesla, Musk, makes an adequate car and makes a great rocket.
Yeah, the rockets work.
Love the rocket. But the car, you need to look at other cars to see where they are.
Did they ever make these solar shingles for houses? Did they ever make those, or did that never come out?
Well, somebody's making them. I'm not sure if Tesla is or not. I know the Chinese are making them. You can buy them.
But not solar panels. I mean, like they replace your shingles. Yeah.
Solar shingles. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Interesting. All right. Well, let's move on here to the Nissan Z. This is one of the best deals out there, except if you have to go through a dealer. Because one dealer was selling a 2023 Nissan Z Proto Spec. It's got a price tag of $54,915. They added, as this article says, a useless $1,195 protection package, right? Which you know what that is. That's the can of spray. And so this Bellevue Nissan dealer, Bellevue, Washington State, is asking $129,991 We're taking offers on our proto spec. And they say there will be 240 of them made, and we're taking offers on this. Isn't that crazy? Added dealer markup, $73,881, plus that wonderful useless protection package. That's terrible.
Yeah, you just say no.
Yeah, just walk away and just say don't go to that dealer. You know, don't go to those dealers. They're terrible. Yeah. They're terrible, and it you know, and here's another Nissan problem, and this wasn't even a markup. This happened in Puerto Rico, the Nissan dealer, and there was a actually quite attractive rosewood metallic car. The one employee was hooning the car and drifting it around the parking lot. This is a brand new car. Why is he treating a brand new car like that?
And why is he doing it in a parking lot?
Yeah. And, well, guess what? Why is he ramming it into a Ram truck? He slammed it into a Ram truck and completely destroyed it, deployed all the airbags, multiple panels, hood up in the windshield, basically. I would hope that person is looking for a new line of work, right?
I think that person is long since gone on to other things.
Yeah, new special projects. But maybe they just said they were moving the car and it got out of control. I was moving it in the parking lot.
It's, how far out of control can it get?
Maybe you shouldn't be around cars if that's what happens, if you're moving it from one parking space to another. Terrible. I think they should have to buy the car.
Yeah.
And then be fired. What do you think about that?
Yeah, but then they couldn't earn money to buy the car.
No, they can earn everything they earn. They have to work for the next however many years to work. Everything goes towards paying the car, and then the day you're paid up, you're fired. What do you think?
Well, I think at least they have to take some driving lessons.
Probably, I think they should be swabbing down the floor more than, driving new Nissan Zs. Anyway, but over at Nissan, execs are saying they need more power for the Z. They talked to Nissan's director of advanced product planning and strategy, talked to the Drive, and they were kind of saying that it needs more power. This thing is 400 horsepower, and it's not a big car.
And it's really cheap.
Well, yes.
For that kind of power.
Yeah, I think, what is the base price? Is it $39,900?
$39,900.
Yeah, $39,900. If you can buy it for that.
Well, yeah.
But, 3-liter V6 twin turbo, 400 horsepower, 350 pound of torque.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds pretty decent to me.
That's a lot of car.
Yeah. Anyway, they might be a Nismo branded Z car as a Halo model. Who knows what they will come up with, but I think that's actually pretty good right now. Another interesting story here. Fast and Furious fans are upset. The new, I know you're going to be right up there in the front row when this comes out, Fast X. Angelino Heights is a neighborhood where it all started. It's near Dodger Stadium in Los Angeles. And they are very upset. People are protesting it, especially because they have this growing trend in California of street takeovers where people are hanging out of their cars and spinning them around and drifting and burnouts and all that stuff. And they're very upset that this is being shot in their neighborhood. And they say the smell of tire smoke permeates the air. And they're just not having it. They're going to kind of try to shut it down, the local people. They just don't want it there.
Wouldn't you?
Apparently, they've been hitting cars and everything else, according to some people, screeching tires on a nightly basis. And what has happened in that area is people come by because the house where Vin Diesel supposedly was living in the movie was actually in the neighborhood, and people come and take pictures and do burnouts in front of it and all that type stuff. So they're like, we don't need to keep this concept going.
You know this country is in deep trouble when hordes of people flock to Vin Diesel's house.
It's not even his house; it's the house
to honor him.
It's not even his house; it's the house that he supposedly lived in the movie.
It's
too much time on their hands, don't you think?
I've lost the will to live.
All right. Well,
this is just
coming up. Maybe this will make you feel a little bit better.
Okay, all right.
I'm going to have an at-the-wheel review of the EV6 from Kia, the GT line. Not the GT. This is the GT line. Interesting vehicle, electric vehicle, very futuristic, had the matte silver paint finish, and we're going to tell you all about it when we come back on Cruise Control. Cruise Control is your on-air automotive magazine. Check us out at cruisecontrolradio.com.
Cruise Control.
And welcome back to Cruise Control, your on-air automotive magazine. Hello, everyone. I'm Fred Staab, and he is Les Jackson. We are glad you're along for the ride. We have an at-the-wheel review of Kia's EV6, and a great vehicle. Really, really super futuristic, all-electric vehicle. It's sort of a small, what would I say, sort of a small crossover, I would guess.
Sort of, so it's not like a Mach-E.
No, it's smaller than a Mach-E. It has a hatchback. It has great room inside. This is the 2022 EV GT Line rear-wheel drive. Right?
Okay.
And it is not the GT, which was just revealed. This is the GT line. You know how they do that sometimes? They have Hyundai has the N line,
right.
and then they have the N, which is the performance version. So this is sort of like the sporty but not full-out performance version. But the performance was great. Steel matte gray. Are you a fan of those matte?
I am not a fan of matte finishes. I want shiny.
And you can get this.
I'm a simple man.
You're a simple man. Okay, this is a very futuristic-looking vehicle. The nice thing about it, the storage was huge in the back. Kind of reminded me of the Prius with the big hatch in the back and a lot of storage. Underneath that storage area, it came, with a tire inflator, no spare, and I believe that's part of the battery that lays under there. I think it's also under the floor as well. Very futuristic looking outside. It is a small hatchback. It has the flush handles. In this model, when you unlock it, the handle pops out a little bit, and then you just grab it. Very aerodynamic. They've gone heavy on the aerodynamics for this vehicle. And out back, there's a very cool kind of vented spoiler that helps with the aero and goes back over the rear glass. The rear wraparound taillights are certainly distinctive. Arching fenders in the front. I think they've done a great deal with this. Some piano black styling on the lower part of the vehicle to kind of break up that matte silver. Shiny A-pillars. And just a kind of a sloping roof. By the way, on the inside, on the back seats, it was not a problem for headroom. The way they've done this, it just happens to look really swoopy. But I think Kia and Hyundai and Genesis eventually can kind of really become the leaders in electric vehicles. They know how to do it. They know how to put a lot of goodies on vehicles and just include them with goodies. This one was loaded. And the pricing is not terrible. Right now, I am driving a Kona Electric, which we'll review in a couple of weeks, and that is a very fun, affordable vehicle. This is a step up from there as far as styling, futuristic styling, the wraparound rear taillights. It's a little less conventionally styled. And if you're looking to make a little bit more of a statement, this is the type vehicle you might go for without breaking the bank. And it's from a proven manufacturer. When you hit unlock, those handles pop out, and you grab them. Same thing for the very aerodynamic rear view mirrors. You can see the little slats there. On the inside, a real clean design, nice quality on the design. This is one of Ward's 10 best interior winners. It has suede seats on the out back. There is a good room in the rear, completely flat rear floor. Even though the roof line sweeps down, you still have good, comfortable room for your head as a passenger. I like the suede seats with the stitching in there. They've done a nice job with that. And good rear leg room. As I said, flat floor, air conditioning vents in the B pillar. Push the button to start, turn the knob to go into gear. Very simple, easy to use controls. It does have a one pedal mode, which I love. This is a cool trick. You hit the up button and the display changes and the controls change. Out back in the back corner is the charging port. You can do high-speed charging if you want, or regular 110 volt. Downside here, it does not come with a 110-volt charger, as most electric cars do. I look at that as like your spare tire. A little bit of storage under the electric or above the electric motor. I don't know what it's like to keep something in there. It might get pretty hot. And as I mentioned before, great storage in the trunk area. Hatchback. Who doesn't love a hatchback? People say they don't.
Hey, I'm happy with a hatchback.
Let's look at some of these things that it comes with. Once again, this is the 2022 EV6 GT Line rear-wheel drive auto. Full driver-wise, driver assist technology, forward collision avoidance assist, cyclist and turning, access for forward collision avoidance. Blind spot collision avoidance assist, rear cross traffic collision assist, parking distance warning, safe exit assist, meaning if you're getting out of the back seat, you're not going to run into something or someone, which is great. And then interior, they load everything into this, just like Kia always does. Dual panoramic 12.3 displays. The whole interior is basically two big displays. Meridian premium audio system. It has, of course, Sirius XM, vegan leather seating material, which is sort of a kind of a Alcantara type of material, which is really nice. I thought it looked high-end, nicely stitched. 19-inch alloy wheels, LED headlamps, power folding heated outside mirrors. This GT Line rear-wheel drive package features a ton of content here, including automatic pop-out outside door handles, GT Line exterior and interior styling, alloy pedals, augmented reality head-up display, and just a host of other things. Smart cruise control with machine learning, and additional upcharges include the steel matte gray paint, $695, and the GT Line suede seat package for $295. The price, MSRP, including all of the options, $52,190. Freight is $1,215. $53,405. It's got a 310-mile range, which is actually really good. It's a really good range for.
Well, that's you can go a long way. Well, obviously 310 miles, so
that's
you
more
could
than
drive
adequate.
to Montreal or Boston or.
The only hit I would say is it does not come with a 110-volt charger. We were talking
That's
during the break.
weird.
I kind of use it like a cell phone. I top it off with 110 volt. I have not had a charger installed, and I like to keep it topped off because you maybe get 8 miles of range per hour of charging. You put it on overnight, and you pick up a fairly significant amount of range. And you were talking, you're going to get the Ford Lightning. You were thinking about charging. How am I going to charge it? And little by little, that's how I kind of keep it topped off. It's kind of what I do with gas cars too. I keep my cars pretty full on gas because
the Lightning, of course, is going to drink a lot of electricity.
But there you have it. The 2022 EV6 GT Line rear-wheel drive from the folks at Kia. The EV6 is just going to get better and better and better. I think we also talked about them coming out with their EV9 full-size SUV. Look for Kia and Hyundai to be leaders in the affordable electric car world. Time for me to say I'm Fred Staab.
I'm Les Jackson.
We're going to see you down the road.
Bye.
Cruise Control streams live every Saturday starting at 10 a.m. Eastern. Watch us live on Facebook and YouTube. Details are in this podcast's episode information.